Satnam, and welcome to day 29 in the month of mindfulness. Today I'm going to answer a question which I got a lot of in the last Q&A that we did 2 days ago. And the question was, how does being a non-vegetarian affect us? What is the effect of non-vegetarian food on spirituality? So the answer is it has a huge impact, a negative one. And let me tell you that I am not a vegetarian, but let me explain to you how you can be mindful about what kind of non vegetarian food you eat and how much of it do you eat. So, let me tell you that when I started traveling internationally, when you went to a fancy restaurant and you order a steak, they ask you, sir, would you like it rare, medium, or well done? Now, rare means it's not cooked too much. Medium means it cooked a little bit, medium, and well done means it's really cooked a lot. So, of course, you said medium to well done. That was most of the time you said that. But now, what I want to share with you is for experimenting, you really, imagine you're sitting in a really fancy restaurant, sitting in Paris and sitting in this restaurant in the hotel called George Sank, and you say, I want rare. Now, abroad in Europe, when they're giving you a rare steak, I know it sounds disgusting, but you can even see the blood on the meat. It's that much less cooked. Now, why am I telling you this? It's because every single time in my life, in whichever country I ever experimented with a rare steak, I have had the worst nightmares I can ever describe to you. I have woken up screaming from my sleep. You see, what happens is, now you can say, oh, but I have it every day, but nothing happens to me. I don't get bad dreams. You see, the point is, your subconscious gets used to tamas. It gets used to the negativity. It becomes a part of your ecosystem. Your aura is not shining anymore. Your aura has become shrunk. You are used to that zombie apocalyptic kind of food. But for somebody like me, who's mostly vegetarian, to suddenly dive into, after a long gap of time, to have a rare steak, it would freak me out. But this is what I want you to understand, is the effect on the aura of something like a rare steak. Now, what about medium? What about well done? I still had bad dreams. When you're having meat, it is affecting your aura. It's affecting your shield, what you have, your kosha. It's affecting it very deeply. The other aspect of non-vegetarian food, of course, which you cannot ignore, is the amount of chemicals which are infused into the meat. Now, if you look at chicken, what you're getting in every restaurant is broiler chicken. The way they are fattened up with all the kind of chemicals, the amount of antibiotics they're given so that they don't fall sick, all of that is going into your stomach. So first you have the spiritual aspect. When somebody that is dying is cursing you for having killed it, and that is coming out to you. Now, you might not believe it, but I've done in the month of mindfulness just 2-3 days ago, we did curses and blessings. And this is a living being, right? So that aspect is one aspect of the spiritual aspect. There is a health aspect, which we are talking about, all the antibiotics, all of the chemicals, and God knows what all they fed that animal. Maybe the animal is even diseased, you'll never know. The point is that non-vegetarian at the end of the day is not good for you. Now you can ask me, why am I still not purely vegetarian? I'm vegetarian most of the time, but I'm mindful of the fact that non-veg is not good for me, which is why 45 years of my life, the love that I had for non-vegetarian food, if today, after a gap of 1 month, after a gap of 45 days, after a gap of 2 months, if I'm sitting somewhere and I see a piece of non-vegetarian meal somewhere, and if I really crave for it and I'm really dying to have it, I will have it. Because it's not that I've become vegetarian out of a religious reason. I've not taken a swear, or I've not gone to a temple and put my head down and said, from now on, I'm going to be a vegetarian. I will have non-veg if it's really screaming out to me, if it's telling me that you have to have me, and that's when I might have it. But because I'm mindful of the fact that it affects my aura, it affects my meditation. For those of you who have asked me, why can I not meditate? If you're a non-vegetarian, it'll be very difficult for you to meditate. Non-vegetarian food affects you in so many ways. it's better to avoid it. You can have it. If you really love it, you can have it. You see, when they're talking about coronavirus and you're talking about Europe and the amount of death cases that they have in Europe, just imagine everybody there for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. They're having meat, 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 meat. What it is? What do you think their immunity is like? What do you think their health is like? When I'm teaching in Manchester, when I'm teaching in Liverpool, I sit in the class and I'm telling the people, I'm telling whoever's sitting in front of me, I said, you are here because you are health conscious, you're spiritual. But when I walk out of this class, I see a horror film, I see zombies walking everywhere. Because it's meat, potatoes, and beer. Meat, potatoes, and beer. You don't want that. If you are a pure non vegetarian, just be aware what you are doing to your health, what you are doing to your spirituality, what you are doing to your life. You want to have a good life, you want to be happy, you might want to consider at least reducing the amount of non-vegetarian food you have. But then, at the end of the day, it is your choice. My karma, my job is to make you aware of it. See you tomorrow. Tat Nam.